Hello and welcome. I'm Bill Wake. We're here working on design Dungeons and Patterns. It's a role-playing game we're converting to online form, and we've been going a while. So what we're doing now is we're taking there are rooms that have no actions you can do, and rooms that have no puzzles you can do, and some that are both. And we're going to try and get those optional ones so that we don't show any choices when there aren't any. All right, I upgraded to Monterey this morning, and I thought everything was okay, but um, IntelliJ has actually been balking a little bit. So let's see what we have going here. All right, looks like it may come up anyway. All right, let's see. I try and get the things arranged. Okay, so we'll start with kind of where we are. Um, we've got the notion of you've come into a room and there's a picture and a description, and then here's a choice of actions you can do. This is all controlled by a dungeon file, dungeons.json. We load that. And in some cases, there are no actions for a room, so we want to figure out what to do there. Sometimes there are no choices for what are the patterns. Okay, so we want to do that. And then, I guess in theory, there could be rooms with no doors, so we probably should do that too. Um, let's see. How are we doing here? IntelliJ. Really? Um, okay. We may do this the hard way. Let's see. Can I open up the file? I'm a little puzzled. Like there should be something. See if we can do anything with preferences. Well, I mean, it's seeing it. Oh, I can tell you what else I did. I don't have Elm tests. Well, maybe I do. I added Elm format, and I updated all the files so that they conform to the format recommendations. I also did a little reading on the plugin. So Control Shift P tells us the type inference. That's good. And then Control J brings up some documentation, and then Option Enter, which is sort of the standard thing, may do some stuff. All right. I don't know if it's still just coming up or. All right. We'll start manually. It's annoying, but we'll get there. Okay, Elm Reactor. We can do that much. This is the one I struggle to remember. Okay. All right, that'll run some tests for us. This will let us, if I could spell. Okay, so now we're actually running. We'll reload that. Okay, we can go to a different room. Room with floor with keyholes. Okay, spiral case down. We're now on level 2. I also went through any images and cleaned them up a bit. So this one wasn't troubling, but there were some others that were. So those are done. And then I added all the map for the second level. I hadn't done that before, and I couldn't bear the thought of just spending our time together on that. Instead, we'll spend it trying to figure out why IntelliJ will not start. Okay. Um, I've had it do this before, and restarting it seemed to kick it enough to get it to start. But I have no idea what's going on with it. All right. Let's see. I want to get to a room that doesn't have any actions. Yeah, this one doesn't. Okay. What do you do? Well, choose an action. If we look at the description for this room, I think this is maybe 2A, then we'll see that the dialogue list is empty. All right. So I guess let's try one of these. I think I have Adam here, or TextMate somewhere. Here's TextMate. Well, we'll see if we can open this. And I'm going to put these windows a little closer to the action here. Okay, and with, I don't know, sorry, I just tend to put them in this order. We mostly don't need to look at the reactor ones, so we'll just do that. Okay. And this one should mostly stay green. That's okay. I'll minimize this. And TextMate's going to be problematic too, huh? Does anything want to function? Okay. Let's see if I can find Adam. I'll use TextMate if I have to, or VI. Punishment for past sins, I'm sure. All right, we have Adam. Can we open up some files? There we go. Add a project folder. That sounds promising. All right, let's start with desktop. Twitch. DNP. That's probably a good one to add. All right, I'll only slide this over a little. Yeah. Okay. So our stuff is in source and tests. And then we have the dungeon somewhere. Dungeon JSON. Okay. Let's find 2A. Yeah, so here, this room is very minimal. It's kind of a transition room. You've just come down the stairs and you hear everything above you shut. There's 2 doors exiting, which we see. But the dialogue is empty. There's no actions to take. And we have answer none, which is probably not the ideal way to do it. I think what we want to do is make answer be optional. I'm kind of okay with dialogue being empty, and that's sort of the easier case. But we don't want to make you do any actions or solve anything. All you can do is go to the exits, and yeah, that's the way it goes. All right. Let's see. So our code. This is a room. Okay, it's got an image, description, puzzle, exits. Okay, I guess that's not a room. Is it a puzzle? Yeah, okay, so a puzzle has the dialogue and dialogue responses. And then I think what we want to answer is well, we want to be able to in our display, which is up here, and this is getting big, so maybe we should be pulling that out too. But what I want to answer is, should I draw this section, the whole section? Okay, so here's acting. It's all the stuff to put up the actions. But if there are no actions, I'd kind of like to say, if there are actions, do them. Otherwise, just put nothing. Now I saw somewhere text of double quotes is a way to get nothing, but we need to ask the model, which will eventually we're going to ask the puzzle, do you have anything to show us? Okay, so let's start minimally. Okay, so let me get room here. I don't think we need this stuff. Oh, I should comment. At some point, I installed this JetBrains, I think it's called Mono font, that it sort of knows some of these symbols, like this is bar greater and this is dash greater. It knows them and puts them in a nice sort of one character, glyph. All right, so I think that's a nice thing. Let's see. So I think what we want to say is has dialogue. Okay, this is why we stopped using Atom. Has dialogue of a puzzle is that's really unfortunate. Okay, let's just say true for now. I think that as far as we're concerned at this point, everybody's got some sort of dialogue, and I want to focus on making the display know that. Okay, and so I'm going to start very minimally and then make it false throughout, and then test drive something that answers correctly. All right, so what I want to say is basically an if. Well, I don't know if I want to drive how I want to drive it. Well, let's get these open. Room. I'll put them alphabetically. Game. Game and puzzle and then state. Okay. Well, state is the same as model. Okay, so let's look in state here. Okay, and I guess I'm gonna say there's has dialogue, which takes a state and answers with a Boolean, and has dialogue. Let's just say we're going to go well, let's just do it like this. Okay. So I haven't gone all the way down, and I think maybe I'm just, I don't know, flailing a bit here. But I want to be able to ask the state, do you have a dialogue? And that's something that's true for the current room, and it's going to have to think about that. But for now, that I think is okay. So I want to be able to say if has dialogue model, then acting model, else text of empty. Is that legit? Okay. And I don't know what you are. You're my useless text mate that finally came up. Okay. We'll save this. We'll save all, actually. Cancel that. That's not how you save all here, apparently. Save all. Okay. Now, if hi has dialog, I expected to see then. Ooh. Okay. I cannot find a true variable because it's capital T. State. True. Probably the same complaint can be leveled here. Oh, it was bool. Okay. Let's put the type annotation in here. Has dialog for puzzle goes to bool. All right, but the real one is over on state. Bool. Something is off. This true value is a bool, but this says it should be state to bool. Oh, has dialog state. Okay, now the test pass. Let's just see if this still works. All right, we've got Elm Reactor running, so we'll do a reload. Okay, we got some dialogue. All right, and we'll just do this manually just to make sure. Again, I haven't been testing the drawing stuff yet, and philosophically, I don't tend to test that because I feel like I want to have some freedom to change the HTML, but there's stuff starting to go on here, so there's something there that I'm not quite sure about. Okay, false, and that field went away. Okay, so I'm on a track. All right. State. Okay, so if I guess I have to say, is this the current room? I'm gonna need to know the room. All right. So here's the deal. I'm going to work this thing from the bottom to the top. So if you ask me, does a puzzle have a dialogue, I should be able to answer that. All right, so let's go to the test. This is puzzle test. Okay, this and okay, if we make a new puzzle, well, if I say has dialogue of puzzle, let's see what we got to do to construct it. Well, we have to give it a dialogue and an answer. Okay, so the dialogue is empty and the answer is ignored. And then this should become expect equal false. All right, let's save those. Has dialogue. Oh, I should. One of the things they suggested was being explicit on these functions. Sorry, the style guide suggested was that puzzle.has dialogue is probably better than just has dialogue, because you do care which one it is, and exposing dot dot is really not ideal. Okay, so that looks more valid. Okay, puzzle knows it has no dialogue, false. All right. Okay, so has dialogue is really well, it's really I don't know, is empty dialogue. No, I got to get to the dialogue itself. Oh. Am I never doing this? I must access these things somehow. Dot puzzle room. I guess dot dialogue of puzzle would be okay. Get the dialogue from the puzzle. Is empty. I guess I want the opposite, right? If it's empty, it has no dialogue. So is empty should be false. Not true. I don't remember. Do I do not? Okay. And let's flip this. So this refactoring is sort of go from the inside out. If we do this and pipe that into that, I think is that valid? No. Gotta go the rest of the way. Let's pipe that to list.asEmpty. Okay, I don't know. Is that better? I think it is. Take the dialogue. If it's empty, return the negation. All right. I suppose we can test the other way. This is one of these tests where we expect it to pass. I've called this confirming test. When it has a dialogue, this is true, and then trigger and action. Because I expect it to pass. All right. All right. Now, I know that's good for that. I don't know. I'm driving bottom up. That feels funny to me. I don't usually do that. Okay. Well, I think we're gonna want ask the same question for this game. I guess we want to ask for a room in a game. Does it have any dialogue? All right, let's get the test going. Game knows it has a dialogue. No, lambda goes to... Well, I think we'll do the same kind of structure here. Okay, we'll make a game. It's got a room. It's got a trigger and a response. Okay, so we want to say game.hasDialog. Amazing how lazy I get when I'm not having completion. All right, room 1 in the game. Do you have a dialogue? We expect that to equal true. Okay, because we made a room that does in fact have a dialogue. Okay, and this test should fail. All right, function doesn't even exist. All right, it's okay. We're starting out. Well, there's dialogue. Let's do has dialogue beneath it. Has dialogue. If we take the room name in a game and return a Boolean, has dialogue. Okay. We need to look up the room name in the game. Okay. And then pipe that. Well, the room name for the lookup gives us the room. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, the room has the puzzle. Okay. Yeah, we're going the other way this time. We'll see the flaws of that. All right. So I got a room. I want to ask it room.hasDialog. All right. It knows the room. I think it knows everything it needs to know, but that function doesn't exist. Okay. Does not expose a has dialog. All right. Let's go in here. So if we were lucky, this thing would already exist. Room. Ooh, interesting. Room goes to Boolean. We want to say has dialog of a room. Keep doing that. The way you tell if it has dialog of a room, well, for now, we're just going to say true. Cut to capital true. All right, I'm just getting the test to pass. Has dialog model. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, recommend qualified names for imported values. At most one ... per file. Okay, so our main is not conforming very well. Okay, so if this is state.hasDialog, and we pass. Okay, so we made, see what we did. We made game delegate to room, and it's saying has dialog. Whatever room says is fine. Okay, so I'm not going to worry about the other cases. I'm going to focus on room because it's doing all the work. And now we need the room test. Okay. I don't know if there's... I'm caught on this thing of, like, really, to find this out, you have to go down 3 or 4 levels, which is kind of a pain, but it's kind of like law of Demeter kind of thing. If I put the knowledge in at the top level that says, like, navigate from the state to the game to the room to the puzzle, you know, all that navigation is built into my test or my code, and anything that changes in the middle is going to bust that. So I don't really want that to be the case. All right, so let's try it again. We'll do the same in a room. Okay. Room knows whether it has any dialogs. Okay. And this boilerplate gets a little old. Room dot has dialog. And we expect that to be equal to I got to give it a room. Let's borrow this. Well, I can do it like that. Room image description. Let's give it one dialog. Action trigger. Oh, that's trigger response, maybe trigger action. Okay. It has a dialogue? Yes. All right. I think this test will pass, but the corresponding one for false is going to fail. We'll take this back out. Room knows, how about when it has no dialogues? No dialogue, I don't know. All right, so that failed. Yeah, so room, I mean, it's just a hard-coded answer, right? That's not gonna work. Okay, so let's take the dot puzzle of room and pipe that into has puzzle dot has dialogue. Okay, so we're saying if you're a room and you want to know if you have any dialogue, ask your puzzle. All right, so this is that sort of one by one down there. All right, and I think that should be a better answer. Yeah. Okay, so now I think we're to the point where we know if we get to room 2A, going down the stairs sort of in effect. All right, let's go here and here. Oh, choose an action. Okay, what is going on? All right, let's check our description. 2A has no dialogue. Let's look at our tests. I'm okay to make my test go all the way down. I don't need main test. I want to start with state test. Oh, we didn't test state for dialogue? Yeah. Okay. That explains it. All right. Where's state test? Okay. Do we have any dialogue in this? No, we don't. Okay. Pipe that to a lambda. All right. Let's just take this. Dictionary from this. All right, let's take an empty. All right, if you pipe that to has state.hasDialog piped there, okay, then we expect it to equal false. This should fail. Not necessarily because of that. I don't know how I turn off the Elm. Dictionary from list. Is that extra? No. Let's put it back. Okay, I think there to there should go away. Pipe it to state.hasDialog. Expect to equal false. All right. State current. Oh, I need more. Game, empty game. Oh, I need a current room. I do need a game then. Let's change our data here. Okay. In state.hasDialog state. All right, let's see if that looks better. Okay, so we got to ignore. Let's give it an empty dialog. Is that game? Map of dictionary. Okay, that's a map of the rooms. Oh boy, we got to create an actual room. And this is the downside of when you're testing with this very large setup. Okay, this should be a room. Let's start in room 1. It's a dictionary of pairs. Something just seems wrong about this. I'm a little puzzled. Starting room. Oh, translations can be empty, but we need a map. Okay, so our translation is empty, but our map, whoops, translation is empty, but our map is predict.from list, and it's a list of pairs. Okay. The list is room 1 goes to room, where a room is to be defined. Let room equal, okay. We're going to make a room. And this is, okay, let's see if we have a room in our test already. No. Yeah, these tests are very minimal on the game. Okay, so room is room, and then we need all the parameters. Image is string. Description is, let's say no image, no description. Excuse me. A puzzle and exits. Okay, the puzzle is going to be something. Puzzle of something, and then a list of empty exits. All right. I think that's good as far as it goes. Our puzzle, however, and now we're getting there. It has a pattern name. Well, it has a dialogue and a pattern name. The dialogue is a list of stuff. All right. Has dialogue. We expect nothing in there. Okay. And some pattern. Ugh. Do I trust it? Okay. We've created a room with no dialogue. We use the room to make a game. In the game, we use the game to make a state. And mostly we're doing all this just to prove that we get down to the bottom here. Okay, and then these two should indent. Okay. So given the room, the game, and the state, we ask the state, do you have a dialogue? We expect it to be false, and I expect the test to fail properly. All right, I still have problems. Okay, I cannot find a room variant. These seem close. Did I import room? Import room. I'm trying to be more specific. Okay. Import puzzle, right? Okay. And the formatter kicks in. Let's see if I can demonstrate it. It kicks in when we save the file. Oh, it doesn't. It would if we were in IntelliJ. Here, I save, it doesn't do anything. It would put it alphabetically. It doesn't distinguish core from non-core. All right, exposing puzzle and room. And that is not doing it. 10th element does not match all the previous elements. Well, that's because you're not happy about stuff. Oh, expectation. Oh, my state is a little funny. Okay, this has got to be room 1. Otherwise, we're not talking about the same room. But something's still off. Okay, I don't know what it is. We'll have to look at that. All right. We're due for a break, though, so let's take a break. I will see if I can get IntelliJ one more try to get started, but otherwise we'll continue from here. So 2 or 3 minutes. See you then. Bye-bye. Hey, welcome back. All right, I am learning there's something weird going on with OBS. It doesn't show my background image when I go on break anymore. We'll have to see what's going on with that too. All right, let me see if there's a setting here. Editors. I missed that search. Packages. Let's disable that. Hopefully that shuts it up. I don't know what we're losing. Hopefully just the complaining. Did IntelliJ do anything? No. Oh, this is not good. Okay. Let's see. So we left off with something going wrong. Something about our test means it's a expectation rather than a test. Is it? Oh, it's state test. Okay, well, it's still complaining about this. All right. From list produces dict comparable. This needs to be a room name and a room. Oh, this is from a list of pairs, I think. From list room to room. Oh, I'm working too hard. Okay, this already is a list, which is what it wants. There we go. Okay. I'm expecting to see the in keyword next. I got one too many parentheses. Where's room? Oh, we're still doing that. Excuse me. Okay. So room has 4 parameters. Let's start at the bottom. Oh, I do miss my IDE. Sorry, excuse me. Room, 4 parameters: image, description, puzzle, and list of room names. Okay. Our test room has image, description, puzzle, and list of room names. Puzzle takes 2 arguments, a list and a pattern. Pattern name, okay, which is a string. All right, so I think our room is okay. Our game make takes a room, a list, and another list. Game make takes a room, a list, and another list. All right, so I think that's okay. Our state takes room, set, dictionary, 2 dictionaries, and a game. State test. State. A name. A set we don't care about. Actions. That's from a room to a trigger, but we don't use any here. Dictionary. Dictionary. Guesses. We're not making guesses in a game. I don't know. That looks okay to me too. All right. So if we ask state.has dialog and we give it a state and it returns a Boolean. Well, what the heck is going on? And then a Boolean, we compare that to expect. Everything in a list must be the same value. Have I messed something up on that front? Empty list, empty list. Oh. What about this one? Room 1. Everything in a list, its value is a duple. So that shouldn't be an issue. These are empty, empty, empty. I don't see where that complaint is coming. Well, it's a hint. Let's see if we can find this help anywhere. I guess I should put the word elm in here. Not promising. Okay. Okay, have I messed up any syntax along the way? Yes, I have. These are pipe from, not pipe to. Okay. A lot of work to get the failed test that we expected. All right, but here we go. Has dialog of state. Well, we really should be able to answer that with game has dialog. Hey, still have that. Okay. And then, so it'd be nice if it popped up and told me room and game. Okay, the room is the current room, and then the game is the game. And I guess I need to do this current room of state and game of state. Woohoo! All right. Would have felt much better, 20 minutes ago. All right, but oops, reload. If we work our way over to room 2A, what's the pattern? There's no actions. Now we have actions. Yay. Okay. Let's get another window going. Twitch. Okay. Wow, that was harder than I thought it would be. um, what are we learning from this? Okay, one thing, a small thing, but the dot dot thing is getting me. All right, so it made it harder to work in Maine. Let's see what we got here. Let's go state puzzle. Doesn't do any imports. Room is explicit. Maine is the holdout. Let's go to game first. Okay. Yeah, Maine is the one that's doing that, isn't it? Okay. Let's get some complaints. I don't know if I can do this. Okay. I got stuck. Yeah. All right. Let's try game. So what should it be? Well, it's almost anything it's complaining about is probably going to be a game. All right. 170. All answers is really game.all answers. Can't find a description in 106. Well, that's really game.description. Can't find a decoder in 49. Well, that wasn't too hard. HTML attributes, I'm tempted to let those two go. And the HTTP, it's the ones where I'm defining it that I really want to be careful. We'll let the constructor, as it were. Okay. Go to room name. Yeah. Okay, and state. Oops. All right, 106. Is that game.game? The game variable. It's from state. Let's see. Yeah, this is really state. State.game. 106. Oh, that's 105. Okay, that's good. One 14. Funny, they kind of come up backwards, isn't it? 6, 8. Known room in 196. Stay down that room. Okay. All right. Let's lock that in. And done. So what we did was make main.elm explicitly name functions rather than import ... Okay, now this one's going to be trickier. The pattern. Well, let's see. I think 2A is an example. So let's go back there. Yeah, the pattern. I think it's listed as none or TBD. Yeah, none. All right. We need an optional. I don't know. Okay. Need more oxygen. All right. So if we go to puzzle. And I'm not sure this is the right place. Can you have dialogues but no actions? Can you have... no puzzle, no answers. Yeah, kind of. Can you have answers without actions? I'm trying to figure out, is puzzle the thing that should be optional, or is answer the thing that should be optional? And I guess the only way to really know, and actually that's not even enough, this one is nothing and none. All right. This one is nothing with an answer. It's supposed to have dialogue. We need a mini dialogue or something for that. This one, that's another one that should be like a mini game. This one's tricky. That's not even correct. The manhole is supposed to be the way down to the next floor. And so I think this is really a none. Free monster, that just needs some actual dialogue. I'm not sure about this one. There is no puzzle on this one. Okay. The answer is, if there's no puzzle, there's no solution. If you don't have a puzzle, would you ever want a solution? No, it doesn't make any sense. All right. This tells me we may have hit things at the wrong level before. Oh, goodness. I was trying to take the easy one first and then do the hard one. But I think the reality is puzzle has dialogue for puzzle and I don't know. Who holds puzzle? Is it game? Game holds puzzle, right? No, it's room. Okay, so the way you handle optionals in Elm, I've hardly done it, just the barest bit. So what has to happen is you say maybe, and okay, let's trace through. So if I say puzzle is optional, I'm gonna bust stuff left and right. Ugh. But I'm gonna say it's optional in the code, and that means everywhere that deals with puzzle, before it goes to deal with it, we have to say, oh, if you don't have a puzzle, then you should tell me X. And it requires some defaults and stuff. So putting this in is going to break lots of places. Puzzle room answer. This is room line 20. Okay. If you ask me for... Okay. You ask for the answer for this room. I don't have an answer for you because it's optional. And like, you shouldn't be asking me if I don't know. And this is a little bit of a problem I have in concept with Elm's approach. It's like this. I want to arrange things so answer room is never called when it doesn't have an answer. Instead, I'm left having to put maybe with defaults in, or like how do I convey that there's this shouldn't happen, and maybe with default says give, force an answer basically. I'm providing, it's sort of like the question mark in a couple of languages, this value question default. If it's null, then answer with this default. And I can do those, but they sort of lie about what's going on. I mean, the answer, okay, so the complaint is if you ask me for the answer for a room, I can't really tell you because if the puzzle isn't there, like, what does that mean? Now, I can move it up a level, and maybe that's what I should try, right? Because here I don't have a good answer for you because the question doesn't make sense. So I could go ahead and admit that, what I'm doing is I'm saying the answer really is a maybe. If there is an answer, that's good. If not, I just can't tell you. All right, so let's see who complains about that now. The callers of answer is going to be fighting. Okay, the argument is maybe a puzzle, but I'm piping it to a function that expects an answer. Okay, so room.elm. Whoops, where's that? Puzzle room. Oh yeah, that's not going to work, right? Because the puzzle. Let's see what puzzle does. Right, it gives an answer that's a pattern name. Now, I don't want to be a maybe pattern name. See, this is where I get kind of stuck tracking this back through. So I think maybe pattern name, the only way answer can give me that is if I make it optional in the puzzle. But I mean, a puzzle really must have an answer. Okay, so I'm gonna do the maybe with default. With default answer, the default is I'll say can't answer with no puzzle. It's I don't know. I'm thinking through my choices here, questioning my life decisions that got me to this point. All right. So one choice is I say answer. Okay. I say, in this case, I'm saying I'm just going to make something up. Now, if you're like me, you go like, I don't like that. So maybe I got to do something different. Okay. So this just feels wrong. I'm down at some low level. I'm shoving in a sort of can't happen situation. Okay, it's a can't happen situation, and I'm shoving in an answer and running back with that. That feels wrong. Okay, let's see. Let's go read up on maybe and see if actually consulting something that has a better idea than me is probably the way to go. But I think let's see. That's gonna be in. Well, we'll just go all the way up. Core, maybe. All right, yeah, so here you go. Maybe it's either just a, which is a value, or it's a nothing. That's sort of kind of like a null. All right. And you can represent these. Okay, here's the with default. With default says if you give me a default value and something that could be a maybe, if if it already is a just, if it's got the actual value, just return it. Otherwise, return my default value. Okay. Then we got a bunch of maps. Maybe this, maybe that. Chaining maybes. I gotta go to the language, I think. Let's see the use of that. I think I can make a case kind of situation, right? Beginner guide. Maybe. I find this guide is a little, I don't know, I wish I just had a simple language guide. Because if I don't see the example right away, I have to kind of like go through everything. But yeah, this is the kind of thing we want to do. If it's maybe, then we want to, if it's, okay, yeah. I think what we're going to do is we're going to say if the message is just something, do one thing, and if it's nothing, do something else. Now, how do we do that? All right, let's try this. So this goes to case answer. Let's get back there. Case answer of. If it's nothing, then we're going to return nothing. Is that not, that's not right. We want to look at let's take puzzle of room. Okay. How's this? If the room has a puzzle, okay, it's a maybe, so it could have a puzzle. If it has no puzzle, we're just going to return nothing because we're going to return maybe pattern name. And we're going to see how this plays out. But if it's just pattern name, no, if it's just of a puzzle, we ask for the puzzle. It's either nothing or it's a puzzle. If it's a puzzle, then we're going to return dot answer of the puzzle. All right, am I liking it? Well, let's see what the consequences are. Yeah, so I don't know. Let's see. Let's go to our to-do. I'm way off date on that anyway. All right. If there are no actions, don't show that section of the page. We've kind of done that. Well, we have done it. I just am not quite sure it's right. 10/31 Halloween. Okay, this was 21/14. No actions, don't show that section of the page. If the pattern name is empty, I think what we're doing is if the puzzle isn't present, don't show the actions or answer sections. And I think that supersedes this if the pattern name is empty, because we don't know what that means. I think the whole thing is if there's no puzzle, don't do it. All right. Where'd this go? Okay. Let's save this. Now room. Okay, so we haven't worked through the consequences here. If somebody asks for the answer for a room, they got to be prepared to deal with the fact that there may be no answer. Right. Okay. Yeah, I think this is going to supersede has dialogue in the end. Okay. Live and learn. That's why I'm learning in a language I don't know, so I can make these calls. All right. So possibilities we had. I think one possibility is we would just lie and say can't happen. Okay. The pattern name is can't happen, and we would trust that nobody would ever show that. Because they would never call this function if the puzzle didn't exist. Okay, a second choice is we could make answer give us a maybe pattern name. So answer would say if this room has an answer. Well, I don't know. This is like even more. The maybe puzzle is right. Okay, somebody's got to deal with a maybe puzzle. And if you're going to get the room out of the puzzle, I'm sorry, if you're going to get the puzzle for this room, if you're going to ask the answer, you got to ask the puzzle. Because the puzzle is the thing that knows it. All right. So anyway, the second way was work it up so that puzzle comes back with a maybe. But I think if the puzzle doesn't exist, then there's no way for the puzzle to answer that question. So that seems a little unfair. So we're trying this way that says, all right, we're gonna wrap the result in a maybe. And if you wrap a result in maybe, you have to be prepared to deal with it. Every reference of maybe puzzle is going to have to be ready to deal with the two possibilities. Okay, so I think we should see what happens with this, and there's still going to be people complaining all over the place. All right. Something is off with the... Okay, room.elm, line 24. Oh. The second branch is pattern name, but the annotation says it should be... Oh, right. So we need to make a maybe... We make one of these out of that. Okay, so we're returning a maybe. We have to either return a nothing or a just something. And in this case, it's just a pattern name. Okay. In room.elm 29. All right, now we're dealing to the dialogue. Same general issue. If the puzzle doesn't exist, there's no point in asking for the dialogue. So we're going to do the same deal. Well, let's take the same deal a little ways. This one we got a valid default, so maybe that's better to do. Okay, so case puzzle of room. I'll put that down here for the moment. Okay, puzzle.room of, and I don't know if I need the parentheses up here. We'll find that out. All right, case 1, nothing. Nothing, we can actually return empty lists. Okay. Case 2, we have just puzzle. Then we can return dialogue. Well, dialogue applied to puzzle. Okay. And that was line 29. And let's see if that method is there. Okay, this is not bad. Line 37 has dialogue. Well, again, I don't know if there was something on maybe to say, do you have anything? With default, map. And then, okay. Well, let's do it this way. Case puzzle of room of, all right, and these parents were apparently not needed. Puzzle case puzzle of room of, well, if it's nothing, then it has no dialogue. And if it's just puzzle, then it does have a dialogue. Is that true? Well, more accurately, it's puzzle.has dialogue of puzzle. Okay. And you see, by doing this, we're enforcing that everybody acknowledges, like, hey, this could be null. I'm going to handle it. There's no sneaking around. There's no crash. I mean, one of Elm's selling points is you basically don't crash like you do in JavaScript all the time. I mean, there are cases and ways it can happen, but it's far fewer because it's making you handle stuff like this. Now, what I really think is going on is has dialogue is, well, I think I don't know. I think we're not going to ask has dialogue in the end. But if we do, we still have to look and say, is that list empty? Okay, which I think is what we did in puzzle. Yeah, if the list is empty, that could still happen to us. So it's allowing a case where there is a puzzle, but there are no dialogues. All right. And then, sorry, we were on puzzle test. No, we were on room. Oh. Okay. room has no puzzle. Okay. Line 38. Okay, I think we covered this case. Now we should be working our way up. Oh, yeah. Lots of tests are complaining. Let's see who's really complaining. Game.elm, line 68. Game.elm. $68. Okay, so yeah, from lists. Let's see, what are we doing here? All answers. The argument is list dot maybe pattern. Right, room.answer, right, is now returning an optional. Okay, so yeah, the deal is game is not handling that. All right, now there's a way to do this. All right, the thing is, if somebody does not have a puzzle, they don't have an answer, and we got maybe answer goes to nothing, or maybe pattern name goes to nothing instead of just something. All right, there is a way to get back. And is this the map? It's like I want to do a list. All right, so what do I have? I have a list of maybes. List.map. Okay, yeah. The argument to the set is a list of maybe pattern names. I want to convert list of maybe pattern name to list of pattern names. All right, has list got something maybe? Filter map. A function. Maybe you have a bunch of strings and you want to turn them into numbers. Okay, well, let's see if we got any other maybes. Maximum, no. Head, no. Tail, no. Okay, maybe this is the one. Given a function that produces maybe, takes an argument. Oh, what is it doing? It takes an argument and produces a maybe. I think this is okay. So if we have a function that you give it a value and it comes back with a maybe, and you give it a list and you apply that function to each of those, any that come back with just get mapped without the maybe. It strips off the maybe. Okay, so I think what we can do, well, I think there's an important thing I just did there, and I'm trying to remember to do it. If I have a list of a certain type or something like that, yeah, if I have a list of a certain type and I want to find out who can operate on it, I try and go find something that matches the structure of it. And I think what I have is maybe pattern name. Okay, I have a list of maybe pattern names. So if I had a function that took a maybe pattern name and produced a maybe something and give it a list of those, can it produce a list of the stripped out, no more maybes about it? And I think I can do that with filter map. Okay, so I want to say you gave me a bunch of values. Now I'm going to list.map room.answer. List.map. Oh, I'm getting confused. All right. List.map room.answer gives me all the answers from the room. That's good. But what I really want to do then is filter it. Filter map. Okay. I want to take each of those. So I got a lambda function. Lambda x goes to x. Okay, so in my case, the answers are maybe pattern names. I'm going to convert them to maybe pattern names. And there's probably an identity function or something we can use to do this. All right. And a list produces a list. Okay, so the list is coming from there, so that's going fine. Let's see how that looks. So this was complaining about game.elm 65. And the reason I can do this is because with a list, if they were all maybes, I would, if nobody had any rooms with answers, I would come back and say there's an empty list. And then we would convert that to a set and, get rid of duplicates and then sort it and return the result. Did it work? Whoop, what's going on there? I hit save on the wrong side. Let's try that. Okay, room test. Yeah, we moved on. Okay, to line 36. On backwards. All right, the room name. Oh, now that's interesting. 36, room name puzzle blank proxy. Wait, what? Oh, room test. Oh, I got through all the production code and I'm in the tests. Oh, not all the production code. Let's look at game. Game.elm 58. We missed something. Okay. Given a room name and a game. Oh, it's the pattern name. The answer for a room in a game is got to be a maybe pattern name. All right. I think that takes care of that. Well, there's more stuff going on, but okay. Maybe pattern name. Now, what should happen is anybody who called answer, right, has to deal with the maybes. The big one is this, and we know that one's okay now. All right. Yeah, this is the part I was afraid of. Down here, the JSON. I'm going to have to figure that one out. Okay, the third argument to room is not what I expected in game. Puzzle produces puzzle, but room needs it to be a maybe puzzle. Okay, this looks like it's probably not an issue. 24. Game 24? Right, yeah, okay. Puzzle wants a maybe on this, so I think it's really just question mark. We'll solve that, although we're going to have to come back. Default rooms and empty games. Okay, I got to make a note in my to-dos for that. Do we say that? Yeah. Yeah, default room in game or versus unknown room. Okay. I don't want to leave that out because that's kind of a fundamental. There's just stuff going on here. I think long term, what we should do, this should just be a nothing. And it's a maybe puzzle. I think it should just be a nothing. But for now, we'll deal with it. Okay, where's the game gnome? Oh, it doesn't like that. Puzzle room needs the third argument. Okay. Line 24. 1, 2, 3. Oh, this is... I don't know how I do this. Do I just say nothing? Let's try this. Okay. Room test. I'm ignoring the test for the moment. This one, okay. Decoder is maybe puzzle, goes to list to room name, but it's piping it to a function that expects this. Yeah, the problem is 105. So this is where we have to handle the fact that the puzzle may be missing here. And I think we can just say optional, if I remember right. Optional? Never heard of it. Okay. I saw something the other day. It was like one of... Let's go look at json.decode. Or maybe json.decode.pipeline. I'm not quite sure which one is the winner there. json.decode. Let's find optional. Optional. Maybe helpful for dealing with these. Okay. You got a JSON. Decode string, maybe field age int is okay when it's there. It's nothing when it's the wrong type and nothing when it's not there. Okay, so instead of field something, we say maybe field something. Okay, this is the pipeline one. Okay, because it's not saying field at all, right? It's saying required and optional. All right, so this was json.decode.pipeline. Where do I find the code for that? Let's just find online. It was a third-party package, no red ink, I think. Yeah. Okay, decode. Let's see if they have the word optional. Required, optional. Oh, maybe I just needed to import the word. Optional name, string, fallback if name is null or not present. Required, nullable. Required. I don't know. Maybe I can say null, optional name, decoder, fallback. Maybe I can say nothing. Optional. Yeah. Optional puzzle decoder and fallback is nothing. I would love it if you accepted that. The value is A, but it needs to be a puzzle. Okay, I'm misusing it. Nullable. I don't know. Can I say nullable? And then this is a decoder, I think. Required. These names seem close. I cannot find oh, that's a word. Nullable. Does not expose nullable. Okay, let's go in here. Well, I got to admit, it doesn't know it. All right, decode a field that may be missing. Optional. Optional name string blah. Yeah, that's the easy way. Optional name. It's either string or a null with a null. I don't know what that means. Or it's missing. Well, okay, I guess the thing is I don't see maybe in here. Required. Okay, I'm gonna search a little more Elm stuff. Elm. Decode JSON with missing type. Decode fields that might be absent. Yes, that kind of sounds like what I want. Required. Optional age. Default its value to one specified. I don't want to default. Age field missing. Default it to 0. Well, decoding JSON structures. Union types. Well, I got nothing as sort of a union type. Optional keys, okay. No, I got null values. Null, no player. What does this null mean? It's sort of what I saw mention of. One of succeed. Succeed is the default JSON decoder. Okay, winners is provided in JSON payload. It'll be a list of players. But if it's wrapped in a maybe, meaning we need to handle the nothing case and decode winners. This word maybe, I don't know where it's coming from. Well, it's coming from JSON.decode. Oh, maybe that's where my nullable needs to be from. Okay, it was down here. So it was required puzzle, nullable puzzle decoder. Is that JSON? Oops. This one doesn't have it, so it doesn't expose it. Did we move forward? Main. Okay. Ooh. That seems like it might do something. All right. Let's deal with these. The third argument to room is not what I expected. Main 38. Okay, let me just do a save all just to make sure everything's okay. Main 38. Puzzle this. Room needs the third argument to be something else. Well, I think for now we're going to say, well, what did we do in game? We said nothing. Which is correct in the sense that you haven't loaded a game. There is no puzzle to look at. Okay, judge pattern answer is not what I expected. 154. The right answer value is a maybe. 1. That's the third argument to judge pattern answer. Model, answer, right answer. That's guess is kind of this one. So right answer is a maybe. So this is a maybe string. All right. And I think this we can do case right answer. Now we're up to the point where it really can't happen, I think. So case of, if the right answer is nothing, there is no right answer, so you can't select it. Then I think we're just going to reply with nothing. That makes sense to me. If the case is just can I reuse this answer, right answer? That'd be kind of handy. If I can reuse it, then it looks at it there. Okay, answer default, if you remember, is we say choose an answer or something like that is sort of the first thing in the list. So if you choose that, you don't get anything. All right, let's make this Again, I'm trying to match the formatting a little. All right, just needs that there. Okay. Oh, close, close, close. Oh, forgot an arrow. Okay, reused. Just right answer. Let's make a new variable. Correct answer. Or maybe this is actual answer. I guess I could live with that. Right answer. Oh, close, close, close. All right. Line 72. Line 72. State test. Oh, we're in the tests. Okay. This is a good place to stop. All right. So what I think we've got is every complaint now is in some test that's got to deal with puzzle being optional. And we can we'll fix those. I don't know if the runner will run it if their tests fail. Oh, it does apparently. Okay. So I think if we step down, yeah, there's no action. We still have this because there's a none, but we can work on that. All right. So I think we'll pick up there Friday. Friday's November something already. The year's practically over, everybody. Friday, 1 to 3 p.m. Eastern time. And in the U.S., we haven't done daylight savings. I think maybe that's next weekend or so. Anyway, next Friday, 1 to 3 p.m. Eastern daylight time. And we'll pick up with these tests and fix them to deal with the consequences of maybe. But I think as we went through it, the code that we were seeing, what we have now seems more right to me. It seems like we've handled it correctly, I think. I mean, there's a little bit of work to it, but I think we're doing the right thing. So of the choices we had, I think we're on the right track. All right. So hopefully I will see you next time or sometime in the future. Take care. Bye-bye.